Okay, let's do this thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. And wow, Monday Night Raw. This is the go home show before SummerSlam. A lot going on tonight. Obviously, we have the 20th anniversary of Rey Mysterio as they were, like I said, Madison Square Garden. And I guess some are saying this is now the first Monday Night Raw without Vince McMahon at the helm. Obviously, more information keeps happening over the weekend and stuff. As of this morning, Triple H is now the new head of creative and whatnot for the WWE. People thought it was going to be Bruce Pritchard, or it was announced by some site it was Bruce Pritchard, but WWE has made it officially known that Triple H is now the head of creative, as you know, Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan are his co-CEOs since the quote unquote retirement. And I use that word very usually, retirement. It don't really feel like a retirement for Vince McMahon. This is just mostly, I call it a strategical move. Obviously, he had to do this due to the whole allegation thing going on. I wouldn't really, it's more of a forced retirement. And, I spoke more about this with some people last Saturday. So go check out that video right now. We talked about that for about a good hour with two of my co hosts. Of course, Kyle Coleman and Jorge right there from the Urban Wrestling Network. We talked about that for about a good hour last Saturday. We would have did Friday, but we want to take some time to kind of think about it and see what is going to lead into the future. I guess with WWE, since Vince is not in charge right now. Like I said, this is more, like I said, more of a forced retirement. And I think they did this obvious. Oh, like we already know why they did it because of the whole allegation thing. But until Vince deals with that, and I guess he would, hopefully, I guess get that cleared up and everything. I guess it was just the best move for him to, step down and whatnot, and not really put any more damage within to the company. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if Vince is even still working somewhere from behind the scenes, or probably being some consultant input. He does still have 80% of shares, majority shares of the company. It is still his company at the end of the day. He just can't really do anything with the company right now, or unless he's doing from behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess, but I feel like he would have some input, or people still probably would go to him and whatnot. Because I don't know what's going to change. I don't know what's going to be fired. And was it changed tonight on here? Not much, I would say. I think we will probably see change in the coming weeks, especially from a creative standpoint, and maybe both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and I guess NXT also. Because I'm sure a lot of people are going to say with Triple H, people are already thinking that half the black and gold guys will be back, or they're gonna start taking people from AEW. The people that left AEW or were released from the WWE end up back into the WWE now, or some people are already guessing of trying to get a Bray Wyatt back, or Sasha and Naomi, or like I said, people that were already fired, from the black and gold, like I'm already seeing people say Undisputed Era or Killer Cross or Keith Lee. I don't know. I'm just taking guess, but I wouldn't have it surprise me if some of these people do end up jumping back onto the ship and whatnot. Because now I see everybody wants to come back to Raw now, or just watch Raw and SmackDown because they didn't want to watch it because the show wasn't good. Well, yeah, the show's never has been good in general for a very long time. I thought Raw's been pretty good for the past few weeks, but Raw's been bad for a very, very long time. Will it really make a difference with Triple H? I guess we'll just see then. But but I would not be surprised if you know somehow, I don't know, there's still some Vince influence in the back. So yeah, and we've already said before, even from Friday, it's not like there was no big celebration. If it was not going for the shit going on in the situation, if this was a real retirement, they would have probably done a whole big celebration and fireworks and bringing people in and a whole bunch of things. If it was a real retirement for Vince, this is just a strategical move he had to make. And that's really what this was, a strategical move. But kicking off Monday Night Raw, though, live, not live, but yes, kicking off Monday Night Raw was the Bloodline. Of course, well, not kicking off Raw wasn't the Bloodline, but we actually kicked it off with the opening with a brawl with inside the ring between The Miz and Logan Paul until like a whole bunch of referees that came up to break it up. So we'll see more of them later. But that's when Roman Reigns and the entire Bloodline came out. Um, Basically, they had all the belts out there. Roman basically said, "Acknowledge me, Madison Square Garden," which he kind of people were cheering for him out there. So New York does be different. They do dig Roman Reigns. Basically said, "I don't feel like talking no more." So he told Heyman to talk, and he talked about the island of relevancy. His mic started going out, saying, "This guy must be from New Jersey. It looks like, and we want your name written on the door, and you're the next one out of the door and whatnot." And talked about Sunday will be 700 days as Roman as the champion, and he wants Brock Lesnar to piss on everybody's parade, but that's not going to happen. Randy Couture was one of the best UFC heavyweights of all time until Brock got him. But Heyman went on to talk about how Lesnar also ruined the Undertaker's streak, and also taking out John Cena and everything. But he's not going to be able to take out Reigns. He's not going to stop this party this time. And he talked about a whole bunch of legends, going to SummerSlam, from Hogan to Savage to Stone Cold, The Rock, and they're gonna finally get rid of Lesnar. Maybe Lesnar's final time out of here. I don't even know if Lesnar's last thing will be Sunday, since we all saw what happened last Friday. The whole he left and ended up coming back because said he would only work for Vince, which can you blame him at some point? When you think about it. So there you go. But he said Lesnar won't be able to stand SummerSlam. Austin Theory came out with the Money in the Bank and talked about, hey, I still got this, okay? I'm still going to beat Lashley. But Reigns says, no. Why don't you come over in here, okay? Why don't you come inside, all right? And talk then, all right? Enter the ring, acknowledge me, all right? And then, New York, say, hey, man, Theory's nervous, everything. So we're going to take it easy on him, okay? And I see what you're doing with that briefcase, and you need a wise man right now. Okay, you need to analyze this situation. Listen, your daddy's not here anymore, which the crowd did. They did react big time. I'm sure, even I think Vince may have put that line in himself. Daddy's gone, and the crowd starts chanting, who's your daddy? And I run the garden now. I run, I run Madison Square Garden, okay? And basically, as they walked away and stay, because Austin Theory doesn't have Vince's coaching anymore on his show for the time being, so he can't really help him out anymore. But as Reigns and leaving, Jey Uso slapping Theory in the back of his head. Theory ended up taking the briefcase and hitting the Usos, but Roman's like, no, don't do it, and it leaving. I guess he's like, hey man, you ain't about to bitch me, and took the case and did something. And the fans started chanting, "Who's your daddy?" again, as the bloodline left. But then right after commercial, Austin Theory's still out there, and he gets a whole introduction. But Drew McIntyre came out. Then we had a match against them, and of course a DQ finish because Sheamus and crew walk out there and attack with Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. Next, Bobby Lashley comes out for the save, which ends up being a tag match. Funny, McIntyre Lashley teaming up after they fought for the WWE title for a while. But yeah, Lashley and Drew going against Austin Theory and Sheamus then right after the tag match. Ate up a lot of time for this show, but a very good tag match in general. Dolph Ziggler ended up, just sitting there by the announce table then as Theory's trying to go as finisher. But Lashley got out there, put it to Hurt Lock in, and won the match. Austin Theory ended up getting up to the stage with his Money in the Bank case. Ended up getting super kicked in right after as Reigns and Heyman walked out. And he said, hey, you're going to need this case, all right, as this briefcase. And make sure you bring it on Saturday. Man, you better make a wise decision as the fan chanting, who's your daddy? Man, Austin Theory's got a lot of enemies right now, from Roman and crew to Lesnar to Dolph Ziggler. Who else is an enemy of his right now? I guess AJ Styles. Like, this guy's got almost like 5-6 different feuds going on at the same time for him right now. But right after, they had a video package for Rey Mysterio, basically, talking about his 20-year anniversary. And of course, they had clips from the past. So basically, talking about his debut July 25th, 2002, and now he is here today. Right now, basically, he ended up arriving in like SUV. He had his whole family with him. Of course, his son Dominic and his wife Angie and his daughter Aaliyah out there, which we have seen them many times over the years on TV in general. But yeah, Rey Mysterio, like I said, Rey Mysterio there. arriving to the building. What else? I know they got. I think they have another one of these A&E biographies for Kurt Angle. I may check that one out this Sunday. I was not gonna watch that Bella Twin one. Fuck that. All right, I skipped that one, and I don't blame anybody that did skip that one. Also, Ziggler was in the back talking about Theory and everything and stuff. AJ Styles liked what he did out there. Gable and them showed up then. Basically won a tag match later on tonight. Rey Mysterio then and Dominic came out then. Basically Ray's family was in the back with a whole bunch of people. I'm assuming Rey Mysterio knows in the back partying and celebrating, and Ray coming out there just thanking everybody for everything he's done, just in this company for the fans, just from getting here from wrestling Tijuana. Never thought he would be here now, and talked about thanking a lot of people from Conan. Got a big pop, by the way. Dean Malenko, Batista, Kurt Angle, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, of course. Got a big Eddie chant. You already knew that was going to happen. He loves and misses Eddie every day. And he just thanked the fans for the last 20 years. Fans chanting, "Thank you, Ray." It's glad he could celebrate with his family and everything. The fans chanted, "You deserve it." Ray told Dominic, he's proud for the man he's become. And, he wants him to represent the Mysterio name when he's not around in the future. But, he just thanked the fans for accepting him, being having the most dope and awesome years around here and whatnot, and just thanked everyone he could out there, especially do it here in Madison Square Garden. Ray did speak in Spanish then right after that, also thanking the fans. And so we saw Balor and them and Damian Priest, who looks like he's dressed as Undertaker for some reason. Ministry Taker, by the way, also before they went to commercial. Yeah, I will say something about Rey Mysterio and his 20-year thing. I know he wasn't here 20 straight years through WWE because I know he left didn't he leave like about 2014, I think, and he didn't come back to like 2018. I remember, I think I was at one of his last matches where he went back to the WWE. He was at the All In show, and I saw him wrestle there at the time. But it's many things you can say about Rey Mysterio for what he has done in this company and whatnot. It almost amazed me that he never turned heel during most of his run in WWE. But just from many things, from being a tag team champion, and I'm just talking about maybe his whole career, maybe not just WWE, but like I said, from the PB name, from his matches, from facing Eddie Guerrero, I'm sure people can remember the Halloween Havoc part, and that's WCW, but PB's gone against from Kurt Angle, like I said, Edge, Batista, Taker, Race had a lot of feuds with people. Matt Hardy, Cruiserweight title, I definitely remember that. Great match against Andrade. Like I said, Ray it's many things. But from like I said, Royal Rumble winner, Intercontinental champion. Yeah, match he had with Jericho were really good at the time, especially being on SmackDown. Intercontinental champion. I think US champion, multiple time tag team champion. I think I already said that. WWE champion, world heavyweight champion. It's a lot of accomplishments you can name for Rey Mysterio, and probably one of the most influential people just in wrestling in general for what he's done in the many years and whatnot. I've always been liked Rey Mysterio. I've always been a fan of Mysterio. I've never really had much to say bad about him. So Ray's just universally liked. Okay, people just like Rey Mysterio in general. It's Ray. All right. Yeah, we can some go about his size, but him just being a high flyer, just doing a whole bunch of other shit, just has put him into a different stratosphere when you think about it. For what he has just done in wrestling in general, and I'm glad to see him get respect out here that he deserves. Okay, so like I said, everybody's got a 20th anniversary this year, but having Ray come out here for it was pretty damn cool. And whatnot. But Ray and Dominic end up going against Balor and Priest. Good match. I thought it was funny, of course, when they did the whole Eddie thing. Balor throwing the chair to Ray, and then Balor laying on the ground, but Dominic distracting. Ray ended up hitting Balor with the chair and then throwing it back at him, which referee got mad. Ray ended up putting both Balor and Priest to a 619. Him and Dominic did the 619 in. Right after Ray did the Eddie Guerrero shimmy and the frog splash for the win. and Ray won the match. So good win for him, especially on his anniversary night. So that was cool. I know they had the video of Cody Rhodes um, ESPY award, so they did that. Ray and them ended up going to party. Him and Dominic going back. I guess they were all partying and stuff. Everybody's just drinking. Ray's breaking out the tequila and everything. And his daughter ended up giving him a gift, which was his Halloween Havoc gear and whatnot. So that was that. I was like, damn, he's got the Halloween Havoc mask, gear, everything. But Rhea Ripley returning. We know she's been hurt. She ended up coming back, just staring. Leah told her to leave, but Ripley ended up pushing her back. Then she ended up trying to kidnap Dominic, pull him in the hallway, and Ray tried to stop him, but Priest and Balor showed up. Then they ended up putting him through the table in the back as Ray's family is trying to help him up. Then after that, Bianca Belair came out. Basically, I guess they're gonna have some promo with her and David Bowie. I mean Becky Lynch before Sunday. Bianca's talking about here, on the ESC, the best of all this stuff. Becky tried to say something, but Bianca still kept going on. I'm gonna let you talk when I finish, all right? But Becky ended up attacking anyways, just stopped Bianca from talking. Both brawled with each other. They tried to go for their finishers and whatnot, but security and all of them just kind of came up and broke it up. I don't really think we need to see this match again at SummerSlam. In general, I've said before, Bianca's already had her come up its back at WrestleMania and beat Becky, but I guess, we got to do this because SummerSlam, we're doing it again. Alexa Bliss told Bianca and Becky to watch out whoever wins because she wants to become a top dog in the division again. She ended up going against Dewdrop. I know before that match even happened, Ray was getting checked on by doctors and stuff. Priest and Balor tried to come back. Dominic tried to get him, but Ripley ended up kicking Ray's arm then, saying happy 20th, Ray, which now I guess it'll be a no DQ match for both those teams. So expect a lot of shenanigans. Ripley to be involved this Saturday at SummerSlam. Yeah, Bliss went against Dewdrop. Um, I don't care. So I guess I can say now, I guess since Vince is now in charge of creative, maybe we can give Dewdrop her name back to Piper Niven and change a lot of these people's names back in general, because these names don't make sense. A lot of these names just don't make sense in WWE. Name changes don't make sense in WWE nowadays. So maybe they will give their names back. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Um Logan Paul is out here for his impulsive TV show, whatever thing, and he tried to talk about his brother Jake fighting next week. The fans booed. They did not care. They said it's not next weekend. And this segment was just getting bad out here. He's just trying to talk about his TV show. Nobody seems to care. He still keeps calling out Miz. Maurice comes out then with some disco ball like balls or whatever this is, and talked about their show, but plugging that right after Raw, and talked about, try to say genitals. She couldn't say it, but ended up saying men. But basically, this whole segment was about balls, okay? If they talked about balls, technical, it was all about balls, okay? Measuring testicles, all this stuff. You better be lucky Maurice just looks hot out there in general. That's the only thing that's saving this segment, okay? It's just looking at Maurice. I'm sure everybody would agree on that. But this segment was bad, okay? All they did was talk about balls, big balls, tiny balls. I don't care. Miz came out saying you're not gonna get the Hollywood Miz and all that stuff. You're gonna get the top guy Miz, but they started talking about balls, and then Maurice slapped Logan Paul and said, you got bigger balls than your husband. And then Tommaso Ciampa ended up attacking, and they end up beating up Logan Paul. And it was so funny, like Miz's skull crushing finale, and then the fans chanted, "One more time, one more time, one more time." So they don't give a shit about Logan Paul, okay? They don't. And he's supposed to be the face out of this situation. So this segment looked bad, okay? It was really bad. It was all about balls, and people didn't give a shit about Logan Paul out there being the face. And they were damn near cheering for Miz out there. So that tells you something. Uh, Street Profit to Usos were in the back as Jeff Jarrett, of course, showed the special guest referee saying, like, that's enough bickering and everything. And we're going to keep the peace tonight, which they were about to say a catchphrase, but Jarrett was like, nope. And, putting his hand up, kind of like I was like a school teacher out there. Um, and when they're like, "Oh, you're not talking tonight," so there you go. AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler went against Alpha Academy. AJ and them won. Ziggler the zigzag on Gable for the win. So yeah, not a bad tag match. But in the main event, we did get the Bloodline versus Matt Riddle and the Street Profits. Profits come out like the New York Knicks out there. Ate up a lot of time in this tag team match. Don't know what happened to. I think um, Montez Ford's eye or face out there just started bleeding heavily. But this was a pretty good main event that ate up a lot of time. Reigns end up, beating Matt Riddle. Riddle tried to go for the RKO. Reigns pushed him off. Reigns hit the spear, won the match, but right after Seth Rollins' music hit, him and Roman crossed paths. Of course, the Shield. He says he like bye bye, and then Seth ended up attacking Matt Riddle's fans are singing his theme song, and he ended up curb stomping him on the steel steps, and that ended the show from there. So obviously a lot of last build up, or just is the go home show before SummerSlam. Did the show really feel any different right now? Not really. I guess with Triple H booking, like I said, they're gonna have to give it some time. Will it work? Will it not work? I don't know. Time will tell if the show actually gets better or the ratings get better, or we're gonna look at it like it was before. Okay. Do I trust Triple H to some extent? Yes, I did think he did really good as the black and gold. Maybe he could do it again, like NXT. I'm not sure. Will the show look better? Maybe. We don't know. Like I said, this is technically day one, all right? And as I said in the last video, like me and the people that talk about the whole situation, we're gonna give it till after SummerSlam for some type of change to actually happen. Okay. So we will see what happens since Vince is not running creative anymore due because of his whole quote unquote retirement, basically a strategical move. So I don't really call it a retirement. This is just, you know, just doing what's best for the company until he gets his shit settled out right now. Maybe we'll see what happens from there if he can clear all that up. But yeah, it's not much change I could say happen here. Business as usual. Okay, because I'm sure people were expecting some big video package with Vince. I said that Friday, but like I said, given the situation, they just had to wing it right now and stuff. They could have done that, and I don't think the fans would have given a shit. And they probably would have cheered and bowed at him anyways, and said thank you, Vince, like they did SmackDown, but I guess they didn't want to take that risk. So I don't know. We'll see if anything else happens after this. But like I said, with all these power plays being made, WWE, we'll see what happens next in this whole strategical moves that are being made right now in WWE. But other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Hood9890. Look out for SummerSlam. We most likely will have a review with other people, so we'll see how that goes, okay? But other than that, I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Viva la Raza 20th anniversary for Rey Mysterio. Orale. Gracias, amigo.